You are now listening to Cocktails and Conversations with Javante Wilson and co-host Dennis King.
Her hand on her. So literally, I don't care if that's your mom. She's fucking your nigga. I think that's
What?
it.
Wait!
They was going for 30 minutes. That's enough time to bust a nut.
Everybody knows. I don't play that shit with whoever I'm with. It was very strategic. I have to give it to the bitch. She was crafty.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, y'all not about to sit here and say that. Y'all are not about to sit here and say that because y'all crazy asses.
Oh, that already happened though.
Because you can't overdo it.
Well, welcome guys. Welcome to a new episode of Cocktails and Conversation. I'm your host, Javante Wilson. We have co-host Dennis King, and we have another guest / co-host.
By force.
Okay.
She's being a reoccurring co-host as well, but she's saying that she's still a guest. She's wearing the guest title. Paradise Wilson is here, my sister. And so tonight we have special guest Cornell C. Joel.
What's going on, world?
Did I mess the name up?
Yeah, you butchered it.
Dang!
I was raised with my name being butchered, so I'm very used to it. You're rocking with your boy Cornell.
It's Soul. Yeah.
What's up?
See, damn. I practiced this and I practiced this and
many times.
And I waited till we got on to mess it up. That's crazy.
It's
She's
okay. Soul. Just think like a jewel, but with an S.
Yes.
The best way to, because it's spelled the same way except we have two L's. So you really enunciate.
I'm a post, what's it called? I'm a mail carrier, so I deliver on that street. So I was like, spell it, because I know I deliver on that street numerous of times.
Right.
So, Soul.
Yes.
And I never pronounced it, but I know the name or how to spell it.
Right.
So it's Soul.
Okay.
I got it.
Perfect. Because
It's okay.
That's crazy.
Just knowing each other.
Well, let's move on. So he is an actor. Some of the hit shows that he played on, or one of the hit shows he played on, one of my favorite was Mama's Boy. It was a YouTube series that went on, and he most recently appeared in Ayanna Fix My Life. This current season that's on, him and some of his family members. I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
I appreciate you.
I greatly appreciate you for doing this. So, I met Cornell,
about a year ago.
Yeah.
Has to been.
Probably
a little over
a year. Yeah, but
for sure.
we got close probably a year ago, prior to.
Yeah, after you didn't invite me to your Christmas party.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we check in.
Don't do me. But so we met, and once we became friends, we just hit it off. We just clicked. So
right.
That's my boy. But I watched Mama's Boy prior to meeting you.
And that was awesome when we made the connection.
And I did not know it was fucking you.
I was young when
and then we were talking. You were like, "Oh, he was on the show." I was like, "Really?" Because I watched the show. The show was really, really great. So if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys go on Facebook. Not Facebook. I'm sorry, YouTube and watch it. And it's Mama's Boy, but boy is BOI.
BOI, and with a Z instead of an S.
There we go. So let's do a quick check-in before we jump fully into our conversation. Dennis, how you feeling tonight?
I thought Paradise was gonna go first.
Because ladies first or something? Can you go?
It's 2019.
Okay.
Thank you.
It is the year of the woman, so you know.
Exactly. The Me Too movement.
Okay. I don't know shit y'all talking about.
Okay. Anyway, this is my check-in. But everything is good with me. There's not much to talk about. Y'all just work, and now I'm here with you, lovely people.
Well, thank you for calling me lovely.
Love.
No, same thing as Dennis. Came from work here. That's it. Much to say.
Cornell, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm pretty awesome. That's my tagline. I'm always awesome, no matter what.
Well, that's a good line and space to be in.
For sure.
I feel at peace.
At peace.
Yeah, it's really, really strange. You know, how everybody say, when they turn a new year, they feel something. I have never felt anything any year that I have turned besides this year. This year, at 28, I'm just 28, y'all. I feel at peace, and I'm exploring new adventures and ways to make me genuinely happy.
So you were talking about like now or just overall?
Just overall. But like my overall feeling right now in this moment is peace. It's really weird. And it shouldn't be weird, but it is weird because it's like never felt that before.
I get it.
Well,
for me, I want to piggyback. I feel my word would be, I feel like assured. And
that's a good one.
I just turned 30 in August, so like at this point, it is what it is. Like either you fuck with it or you don't. And who I am is who I'm gonna be, and I'm very assured.
I hear that a lot. Like when you turn 30, that it's like this light bulb that go on. That's just
this is it.
Yeah,
because it's like in your late 20s, it's like every year you're it's something like. It's something reassuring. Like,
exactly.
This is what it is.
Exactly.
And it's more, I think it's like you're fed up with bullshit less. And like, it's just like, I know how to talk. At 30, it's just like, it can be cliche, but at the same time, I don't think it is. It's just like,
well,
I was bugging like a few weeks. I think we chatted with that a little bit. That I was like a few weeks leading up to it, like. Well, actually, it was a few months. I started a few months into it, and I was like questioning like where I am in life and have I made the right decisions, and you know what I'm saying? Because when you're younger, you're like, oh, I want to be like this, be married by this, and then I'm like, I am turning 30, and I'm questioning everything.
But do you think like 30 is like cliche? Like you feel like you should have it figured out, or something? You should have something
sensible idea.
You're right. Cliche it is like, oh, by 30 you need to have it all figured out. That's not reality.
But I think that's where the pressure applies.
Exactly.
Like,
that's where it is.
I'm about to hit 30. I need to figure out what I'm doing. But
no, you're right.
So here's my theory. So I'll have to backtrack a little bit. So 25, I do feel like I hit like a half-life quarter.
Right. But you know what it is?
Crisis. But and so I just feel like it was like a switch that happened, and then and let me break down my theory really quick. So I feel like anything under 18 is like our adolescence years, to where we have someone dictating and telling us like what we should do, how we should do it, and blah blah blah.
And we have. In our mind, we think we have it planned.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
We know everything.
Yes.
For sure.
We know it all.
And so when
shit about life.
So when 18 hits, it's like okay, or once you either turn 18 or out of your parents' house, you are able. There's like okay, you get to make your own decisions. So you make decisions based off of how you feel that your life should go. Like Paradise was just saying, like you think you have it figured out. It's like okay, I feel like I should be doing X, Y, and Z, living my life in this particular way, and then you're doing that. I feel like all the way to 25, you have that's like your trial and error years. If you're conscious of what's happening in real time, and it's like okay, and then 20. You have had 25. You have had at least 5 years of experimenting with what you feel is right, or even with dating and relationship. Like, okay, I want this in a person, I want that in a person. I'm looking for this type of person.
It's gonna work.
And you are so far off.
Even close.
Okay, because you really don't know who you are as a person.
No,
you
that's what I'm saying.
yourself.
Like you said, when you're 18, you think you already planning. Like when I'm 25, I'm gonna have this and this.
Yes.
When you get grown, you're gonna be like 25.
Okay. Yeah.
Please,
yeah.
like when you hit that, like I don't even have like 25% of what I thought. Which you have probably a job. You probably got a car.
Yeah.
But you thought you was gonna have kids. You gonna be married, or you gonna be stable? No, not like 25. It will be realistic, but it's not realistic. But it's a dream. Like it's a fairy tale.
And so I feel like 25. I feel like it's like a switch that goes off, and I feel like for some people or most people, I feel like, and then you get a little bit more focused, and it's like okay, because you have a better sense of what you like, what you don't like, what you actually want, and you went through all this trial and errors.
It's like
period.
I feel like it's like a reality check, because I feel like at 25 you stood on a.
You still don't. You still don't.
It's like a little common ground.
You for sure still don't.
I know I'm not as young as I was, but I know I don't want to tolerate that bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to figure it out. You feel me?
And then each year after that, it's like I'll speak for myself. So it's been 3 years since 25. I feel like yes, it's been 3 for
us. Longer. It
feels
like
longer.
It's longer.
Really?
Because you know what? because you go through shit, so you feel.
Yes, that's true.
Shit,
That's what I'm about to say. I feel like 25, the year 25 was a good year. After that, I feel like 26 and 27. Well, 26 for sure was like.
It was like struggle years.
It was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was
grown.
Oh yeah, 26 was a rough year.
Like you grown.
I just moved to California. 26 was a rough year.
Yeah.
It's just like you just being grown, more responsibilities, and you just like you have to accept that shit. You have to accept it.
For sure. But like to sum it all up, like, well, for myself, at 28 now, I feel like a little more at peace than before, and like more comfortable with where I am in life and who I am as a person. And I do look forward to 30. Like, I don't know why some people that are in their 20s like, oh my God, they dread turning 30.
Yeah,
I look forward to it because I feel like the older I get, the more wisdom that's installed in me.
Because life experience.
It's so amazing.
Life experience is a motherfucker.
So amazing.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna go ahead and turn it back over to our guest. We don't want to, take the conversation away from you, put you in a hot seat a little bit. But just share with the listeners a little bit about yourself, like where you from, who you are, what you do, what led you to do what you do, and just share with us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, what's up, world? Again, my name is Cornell Cecil.
Cecil.
Cecil, finesse.
Oh, finesse.
So I'm originally from Springfield, Massachusetts, born and raised out there up until like around 16, 17, moved to Atlanta. And in Atlanta, started actually living my life because prior to that, I grew up Jehovah's Witness. So if anybody knows about that, that's a cult religion, and I don't fuck with that. And I'm a big advocate of like get out. Like we should have been on like one of them spinoffs on A&E, like Surviving JW, because that shit was a lot.
Wow.
Combined with everything else that I had to go through as a child, it was like I don't wish my childhood on anybody.
So it wasn't like how you just go to church on Sunday and that's the only time you deal with the church people.
Oh no, not at all.
How is it?
Think of because it's a difference between Christian and Jehovah's Witnesses.
No. Jehovah's Witnesses are Christian.
I know, but they're more strict. I want to say.
Yeah,
because I'm not too well versed with.
Because they don't they don't separate. I mean, they don't celebrate the birthdays.
My first birthday, I was 18. I celebrated my first birthday.
Wow.
And I was living in Atlanta. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first birthday. I just decorated a Christmas tree the first time, maybe 2 years ago.
So who was Jehovah in your family?
So my grandmother, who's from England, fully white woman from England, moved over to the country, and she needed something to believe in back in the 80s. So I don't fault her for that because at the time,
side or that side?
My mother's side. Okay. My mother's side. My mother was also born in England.
Okay.
And she traveled over here and boom, had 4 kids by an airman. They met on a cruise. And my grandmother, like I said, fully white woman from England. So back at that time, she had to fight for that love. She had to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in love with this black man from the South at that time. And she had to fight for it because they were not fucking with that.
Wow.
But the best woman I've ever known. And my sister's like the spitting image of her. So those are the women that I revere in my life for sure. My mother, she lost her way a little bit along the way due to like drugs and, all that shit. But I will put it out there that was not put out there due to the show that she was, I felt like a victim of her circumstances. And I didn't like that, the word of a crackhead or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like any of that. I didn't like any of that shit because one thing that I know about my mother, Laverne A was a bad bitch. That's 1. 2, Laverne was a boss.
Period.
Didn't I when I see
any woman in my life. Yes, she was doing drugs, and we kind of all knew that. It was that thing that you don't really talk about. I know my mom, but she wasn't like when you say crackhead, you think of one image in your mind in the black community. You think of with the white around the lip and the fucking my mom was always beautiful. She walked around in furs, gotta have a little switchblade out there. She was ready. My mom was a boss. She was a G. Walk up in the room, command the attention of any nigga in that crowd. I feel like I get that from her. So it's like that's what. That's what I got that from my mom. So it's like that's why I said in the clip in the second episode of part 2 was like she's not here.
We're talking about Alana Fist in my life. We haven't watched it,
and we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
My bad. Yeah,
I'm trying to plug you in right now.
So part 2 just basically when I said that she wasn't there to defend herself, because that's not the image that I know of my mom. I know a hell of a lot more of my mom than I know of my dad. So it was like, you know what I mean? You're getting a complete one-sided story that doesn't have a lot of meat and potatoes in between.
Can I tell you something? No, not to me. But you know what I did? Not. It wasn't even like picking sides, but it was so true because we're so in our feelings about stuff. Mm-hmm. Like your father, like he knows a different woman. He
does, and I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to. He definitely knows. He knows my.
So right now, y'all. So we right before we tape this episode, we actually watched.
We just watched it, so feelings are fresh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's actually coming on to the anniversary soon that I filmed it. And,
really?
In January. We were supposed to first film in October.
Wait, so when did it air though?
It aired in July. It took about a few months to come together. They take a while for these things to come up. We filmed it in July, the end of July.
Okay.
Wow. I'm sorry, the end of January. I'm sorry.
So before we go fully into Ayala, I would like for you to talk about your experiencing time with Mama's Boy.
Yes.
And then after we finish with Mama's Boy, then we'll talk about
that was the plan.
But a little backstory. We did just watch part 2. It's because there's a 2-parter.
It was it's fresh for me, so I got questions. But I'm trying not to.
It's fresh every time I see it.
Especially you got a fresh hot topic in the room. Fresh. It's like, damn.
It's like, you know how like you ask questions, but then like the person's there, so you can ask the questions.
Right.
But we gonna get back to what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So Mama's Boy, like, how did Mama's Boy come about? Like, how did you become a part of that project? Because for me myself, like, I watched it. I stumbled across it on YouTube, and it was. I found it to be very interesting, and it was very captivating. Being a black gay man and it being centered around a black gay couple, 2 males. Mm-hmm. It was a really, really good storyline. It was really good in my opinion. So how did you come about being a part of that project? Talk a little bit about how many seasons you guys shot.
Yes.
The success and where you guys are current.
Okay. So awesome. So first of all, just shout out to Mama's Boy and the whole MBTV movement because I'm very appreciative that it was my first start into film. Mm-hmm. I was, like I said, early 20s. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I just got off of work from my job at the time, and I was offered to be put into a project just based off of my personality, and I thought that was super, super interesting, and to the point where it inspired me so much to start taking acting lessons, chasing after it, going out to. I love the fact that I could walk into a room and convince everybody I'm something I'm not, and I thought I love that, and I actually said that in front of on TV. Shout out to Ayala. I said that to her, and she actually spun that on me like, oh, so you can walk into a room. So am I getting the real? I didn't want
to cut you off. I was going to say just a little pin note, like so. Do you do that because of your backstory, upbringing? And we'll say that. We're gonna park a lot that question because
So, but anyways, with Mama's Boy, it was a great opportunity. So, I was approached by shout out to Najee Lopez. Love you, miss you much. He approached me with the project with his then lover, Kevin Mines, who a lot of people in the industry know him because of his previous work. And they came together. They had a project in mind. Literally, we had just met a few months prior to that at a friend, my best friend, Maurice Jamal. I was at his house in Atlanta. And I was at the house, answered the door. They both were there. And after that, we kind of had like a great night just partying and just getting to know each other. A few months later, I was approached with the project. Hey, play the boyfriend. And I was like, listen, I've done theater before, but at that time, I was only doing music with my brothers. So that was my thing. You know, I was known as Poetic Soldier. That's why I came out on the show because I was still trying to push the music. So at that time, when I was approached by it, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to look on front of camera because I've never really done it in this capacity before. But I started coming straight off of work and just doing test shots. And like I said earlier, practice makes perfect. And I'm just seeing myself on camera and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually not half bad. And then I said, there's something there. I mean, I can't deny it. But so with that inspired me to start taking acting lessons and start getting into it, start really honing my craft because it was an undiscovered. I knew I always wanted to be an actor. At 22, it just wasn't something I saw for myself. It was you gonna take it or not type situation. And I'm so proud of the project because out of the 2 seasons that we did, and mind you, 15 episodes at all, no budget, For people that had aspirations of entertainment, we just started filming stuff, and we go back to what we said, the cell phone days, when we were just filming until we had I think maybe 2-3 episodes in. I don't know how LBZ, shout out to Lyrical Bliss of LB Productions, I miss you too. He just I love what you got going on, but you need you just kind of need me. And everything that is on the Mama's Boy YouTube page, he's visually responsible for. Wow. Because we went back and reshot everything for the DVD. We shot season 1, we threw it on a DVD. We shot it out. We shipped it out to London, Jamaica. People were requesting, and at that time, we started shooting in 2012. By 2013, we rose to popularity. And at the time, and gay web series, there was No Shade, Free Fall, Mama's Boy, and. Of course, the lesbians came through. They already had all their stuff. But there was one more prominent. I'm sorry, no shade. I can't think of the last one, but that's it. But it was in the prime of the Black Gay web series where it was based off real stories. And I'm not taking shots at nobody, but it wasn't so sex driven. All the Black Gay web series now are pretty much softcore porn.
For sure.
In my personal opinion.
Sure. No, that's
that.
fact.
I've jacked off to a lot of the signal TV.
Come on. No,
A lot of them.
Wait.
It is like that. You can find them on my Vidster, like
right,
you say.
a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
and have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because it would be a very explicit scene by itself. That was like, damn, that's softcore porn. Then for the uncensored scene.
Yes.
So y'all real fucking. That's
what I'm like. They turned it to you have the radio version and you have the BT After Dark version to where you gotta pay for it.
After dark. Yeah. For real. So
and it is. What's the name of it again, Dennis?
The Signal TV.
Signal, and I love Signal.
I don't even want to call it out, but everybody know what it is.
Yeah,
it's there.
There was a big controversy between.
I remember
people that did some work with them,
which I think is a great transition into. Okay, so season 1, we had a few cameos on the season. Not to mention, like I said, the one who was dating the lead star, he had his past. He was a very noted adult entertainer. People knew him from that, so that brought that audience. And then we had a few cameos throughout the season.
But had some clickbait.
We did. And then we had Arquez did a cameo with me, Brooklyn Kid did a cameo with me. So there was those pictures that were being released. So I would have people run up and be like, "Hey, you're a porn star. I seen you." I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" This was also the same person that was fresh off being a Jehovah's Witness a few years prior. So a lot of it was very conflicting at the time for me. It's no shades to anybody that's in our lifestyle. I have a lot of friends that do that. I'm not knocking all that. Cheers to that. I'm not knocking any of that. But with all that being said, I always had aspirations of entertainment, acting, music. That necessarily for me, I didn't see that route for me.
So, talk a little bit more about where is Mama's Boy now? Because I haven't seen. I miss it as a Mama's Boy fan.
I miss it too.
Where is it now?
So Najee just came up to visit me a few weeks ago, and
he is so sweet.
You gotta love him. Everybody that sees him loves him. That's why I hate when.
Quick question.
What's up?
Is the lady that played his mom his real mother?
That's his biological mother.
Wow, that is super dope.
It was a lot.
That is super dope.
So
is that the real story?
It's not their real story at all.
Okay,
because she kind of knew he was gay. She kind of called him "You're gay. It's okay."
Because the mama story,
I love that. The mama story was very much
accepting.
And I'm not going to speak on their personal relationship because that's not my
no.
But what I will say is, shout out to Mama J. I miss those days.
Yeah,
I miss those days when it was just me, Najee.
So what y'all gonna bring it back?
I don't think it actually can exist in this climate anymore. To be honest, I don't think it can because people only want to watch for a certain thing now. When it comes to Black Gay web series, they're looking for half naked people. They're looking for the sex scenes. I think we had one of our videos alone, me and Najee laying in the bed like this, just shirtless, has 1.5 million views alone, and there's no sex in the episode.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, for years, sex has been selling. Yeah, and it is the climate that we're living in.
It's the climate. So it's now. But what I would love to give to the fans is I would love for all of us, to band together and put together a final movie just to finish off our characters, similar to Noah's Ark. They put out 2 seasons. We put out 2 seasons. We gonna cut because what we left on the final episode, so first season had 10 episodes. Second season only had 5, and the episode we left off on season 5, I hate that it was the main character ODing. That's not what we're trying to put out there.
Why did it end so abruptly?
Personal. everybody can get along.
So you had a
I had
personal. At that time, me and Najee were also dating in real life. Playing on-screen lovers and dating. So
I've never.
Which wasn't the reason. Let me finish that off. That was not the reason. Okay.
I've never knew this. Because I'm not, that. But it's not a stab or anything. But like you said, like you said it wouldn't be as popular because of the climate we're in now. But it's just like if you want to treat something like. People want to treat things as a norm, then they shouldn't expect like sex scenes or something. Like, why is that normal?
Right.
Why would you feel that's normal?
Right.
Like, why can't someone just go come home from work or whatever and we just watch a regular gay series?
Yeah.
Without it being a sex scene.
Center around sex.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you pretty much saying like.
So why does that have to be normal
around
gay people?
Why do you have to fall into the current normalcy?
Like you can watch
what?
Regular series. You can watch. The park. I know that's old. I'm sorry, but but you can watch that.
Yeah, you can take it back.
It can just be a kiss and you go crazy. Like, oh, they kissed. Oh, they're together.
But that's what it was. Like that's why so when I started off in Mama's Boy as well, like I said, play boyfriend. I played the DL boyfriend season 1. I was very much a B character, but the audience fell in love with the main character and our love life, our relationship. It was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? At that time, it was a void in black gay cinema. There wasn't that much out. Noah's Ark had just ended, so a lot of people saw us as the junior Noah and Wade. Like they would call us that, and that's why a lot of people flocked to our show.
Well, I would say this as we switch into the next subject or next TV show or show is I love the concept and idea of doing like a video or a movie, not a video, but a movie.
I would love to
end it series
to end it,
of Mama's Boy. Like
that
would be.
I actually started writing it. Actually, I started writing it.
No, I don't know the end of it, but I hope that wasn't the end fall of that because I feel like that should be stopped.
But like I said, it was a lot of personal. And it started in season 1.
I get it.
Season 1, there was this weird love triangle.
So it sounded like some real at the real stuff. They want Tamar to come back to the real. They want the Mama's Boy to come back, and it sounded like it's some stuff that we worked out.
It was a lot. I'm very proud. Like I said, we've amassed 3.6 million combined total views with no budget. I'm very proud of that. Like to this day, that actually booked me my gay Christian brothers that flew me out to LA, and that's how I ended up.
It can happen because it's their shows on national TV that are they are gay friendly. You want to call it like I love what is that Greenville?
Greenville.
I love it. I'm sorry, because it's so lit. It's like it's there, but it's
same network on. What's up?
I'm just saying I understand what you're saying because I feel like people feel like if you're low budget or raw, you have to bring out the real. You can bring out the real without being soft porn. Like, why does that have to be a capture to the audience? Like, they're having sex, so let's watch it. Like, that doesn't have to be. Well, have a great storyline.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
have a great.
I feel like we definitely had a great storyline.
But if you have a great story, I feel like if you have a great storyline, that will gravitate the audience.
We'll talk about a great story, not just a storyline, but a great story. You and your brother shared an amazing, powerful story on Ayanla Fix My Life. Yeah. It was so relatable. It was so moving and powerful. And
that's pretty much why I wanted to do it. Because I felt like in the black gay, not even black gay, but in the black community.
How did that come about? In
the black community, we've all kind of can relate or know somebody that's been in those situations. Especially, I'm an 80s baby, 89. So it's like, especially
you got a t-shirt on, y'all that say
so it does, August 89, I'm a Leo baby, what's up?
He at the end,
I made it though. I made it here. What's up?
What's up?
So I made it, and that's what I'm saying. 80s at the rise was the crack epidemic. So it's like a lot of people were born late 80s can attest to that. Like it was a crazy time to be alive, you know. Motherfuckers like this is my blood, and people's just fighting and stealing over because the drugs were so rampant.
Yeah.
And me and Twin were born crack babies by definition, born with cocaine and opiates in our system.
Wow.
So it's like we can attest to that shit, and that shit I found out on my own. Nobody told me that information.
And just FYI, so Cornell do have a twin brother. You guys are identical.
Shout out twin. We are identical twins.
Identical. Okay.
It's very annoying. Let me say, being an identical twin and being because you grow up with somebody who's always there.
Yeah.
And
well,
you're not always. We also have twins sitting next to me as well. So you know, but like I said, it's very annoying being a twin and especially being identical, and then growing up and then. People, it's almost like I'm a lab rat at the moment. People are like, well, you don't act like him. And because what I like to say is we're mirror twins. We're exactly mirror twins. He's left-handed, I'm right-handed. His favorite color is red, mine's is blue.
Wow.
He likes girls, I like boys. It's always been that way.
There it is, y'all.
It's always been that way. So it's like, but for me at a young age, dealing with all the bullshit that I was going through with a drug addicted mother, my dad not being there, growing up in the system, and then being in my aunt's custody, and then having people label me as gay, but I didn't even know what gay was because I was Jehovah's Witness and I was sheltered from sexuality. It was a lot to deal with, and then people like all the girls were running to me, like, hey, your boy, your twin is so cute. And then I was like, damn, what's wrong with me? Like, it was just, so I grew up like a low self-esteem.
Was he your go-to though? Like when you try to identify or when you're trying to figure out do you feel like he was your go-to or you feel like you were comfortable
because that happened like a little bit
yeah.
later on because the times that I'm talking about was more like 7, 8. And
that's what I'm saying, like when you were trying to figure it out.
When I'm figuring it out, there was a lot of times that I had to just kind of look within. I didn't have a lot of people that could identify with what I was going through. In my family, it was a lot of me just kind of dealing with it by myself. We don't have a lot of openly gay people in my immediate family. I'm like the only one.
But
so call me a pioneer.
When he did know he was open, like
he was kind of in denial. Our story was a little funny. I came into him in school. In school.
High school?
In school?
In school. We were in high school. We weren't immediately in front of people, but they were on the other side of the door listening.
Oh,
so
wow.
It was that situation. So I first came out the day. Yes, yeah, that we that again.
That's
so I came on to him what it's called in my old high school back. Shout out to Putnam 413 Springfield in the building. I miss my hometown.
That was you until you were 18 or until when you were
till I was 17 and my sister saved me and I moved to Atlanta. So there's this thing back in high school they call the Day of Silence. And basically it's like a lot of people are very silent. They wear a placard around them because at the time you had to be silent about your sexuality. So our openly gay math teacher orchestrated it. Everybody would like pay money, he would donate it to like an organization. Everybody would have a placard saying I support. And you'd be quiet. So we had mad lesbians in our high school. So of course they all did it. At the time I was still very much quiet because I didn't know about me. 2 years prior I actually had just lost my virginity. So I was like in my
to a guy or a girl?
It was to a guy.
Oh.
Wait, pause,
At 16?
I was 14.
Wait,
Fast and grown.
Can I ask a question? So when you're still trying to figure it out, you already lost your virginity.
No, I was still also trying because it was that conflicting. I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I just got baptized.
Okay, so but it was the first time it was
with a guy. It was with
right?
a guy. It was it was willingly.
Okay, but it was still confusing for you.
It was confusing because a few years prior to that, when I was younger, things had taken place that weren't supposed to take place.
I got it.
And also touching on that now is what I said about that scene that we just watched. That said they edited the fuck out of that scene. My dad didn't get off that chair to move to the couch because I'm just like, you weren't there in my life.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with Twin. So what? You weren't there. Life moves on.
Okay, so going to
Ayala. Yes.
So
you guys tune in and see what he's talking about.
Yes.
The episode was called. It was season 6. It was the last episode. We were on episodes I think 17 and 18, I believe. And the
so
episode,
you guys on 2 episodes.
2.
Yes.
It was a 2-part, and it was called DNA Dysfunction. Are You My Father? And it came in that it cultivated that because my dad had told me prior. When I went to go, I flew to Boston. I was, I flew to Boston and I was at dinner with my dad, and he laid it out to me at a dinner table in Boston. We were at the Seaport, and he was like, you know, when you and Twin were born, I didn't think you were mine. And when he said it to me, it just kind of came off like hood gossip, like, you know, them babies don't look like, you know, it came off. It did not seem very serious.
Right.
So when we were then fast forward to that July, we're all brought to Atlanta and we're filming. we're all separated. We did not see Dad for like 3 days. We were there for 3 days. They kept me, Twin, and Nigel in our own hotel. We all had our own rooms. And Dad was around the corner at another hotel because they did not want us to run into each other. Because they already knew. At the time, we have not seen it. Well, I saw him a few months prior, but they haven't seen him for years.
So this is, I guess we can say, this is real. Like
all this is real.
I know your story is real, but they don't coach you to talk to her or anything?
They were worried about actually physical harm. The way we were talking about. They said, so is everybody going to be okay when everybody's reunited? And I said, it's going to be strong energy. It's going to be strong. It's going to be strong.
So do you meet Iyanla on camera?
I met her on camera the second day of filming.
Okay.
So, but
The first day of filming,
prior?
we had to do, of course, a few different counseling sessions prior to make sure that you're able to receive the information on.
But it's not with her.
Not with her. It was
Wow.
Oh, and that's when she says that she wants to make sure that you know what you're going here for. Like she always says that to the guests.
For sure.
Come on, Dennis do his homework.
For sure. That's what it was. And that's like the first day we just shot the little cute inserts like, oh, hey, you know, me turning from the corner. Like,
profile
shit like that.
Yeah.
So and then the very next day, the very first scene in part 1, which we didn't watch, that's why I wish we would have started from part 1. The very first scene of part 1 was when she walked into the room and with me, because a situation that happened the night prior to the show, where we all hosted a Patriots like football hotel party, and things kind of got escalated. So if cameras were following the night before, they would have caught a lot of that. Shit got wild the night before, and a few hours leading into to filming, the episode of part 1 started off differently from other Iyanla episodes. They were like, "Why did it start off like that?" Because we went straight into the action.
Wow.
What did you want to get from it?
What I like, because my dad was the one to write in. Shout out to Pops for that, because he was the one to write in. I didn't think that was him.
Wait, really? He's the one who reached out?
I didn't think it was him. I thought it was his then girlfriend at the time, and it was him that wrote in.
Wow, that's deep.
And wrote in, and it worked. They loved our story, which I was so surprised, because there was also another story with the Mitchells. There was a few of them. It was like 6 or 7 of them, and their stories were similar. They had 2 gay siblings, and there was stuff going on. It was a lot. It was very similar, but they accepted our story, and they brought us on. And I appreciate Owen for allowing us to tell our story, and that's how it went. So he wrote in, they accepted us, we started filming, and they kept us segregated until the very last day of filming, and that's when he was brought into part 2, and that's when you saw us.
Was it hard mentally?
Mentally, it was hard because for me it was more trifling, because he was the one to write in, I was the one to orchestrate it. Because that's me. They call me the glue. I'm the rock of the family. When it comes to my siblings and stuff like that, I'm the one to try to keep everything together, keep the peace. For years, I've been trying to orchestrate. Like exactly. We talked about this. That's why we clicked so hard, because we already know what it is. So it's like, especially when it comes to my brothers, my twin, I can imagine him. You named me after yourself. I'm you. And then you just left me at the very beginning of everything. I don't want to fuck with you. So I get where he's at. And then with Nigel, he's Justice. He's Laverne Jr. In the male form. So he cusses, he's straight. That's him, just like my mom. So I can't push these guys to be like, hey, have a conversation. I'll call him, hey, it's Dad's birthday. You've reached out.
Who are you, though?
Who am I?
In this situation.
I'm
who do you identify as, though?
Who I identify, I'm the glue, I'm the rock, I'm the ones who keep the peace. That's
I tell Jim, well, I don't tell him, but I feel like you should have to find the common ground, the glue.
I try.
And to be naive at the same situation.
Naive? No, not me.
You don't think you're naive?
Not at all. I was naive. Cornell was naive back in freshly leaving Jehovah's Witness, moving to Atlanta, and being thrown into sexual situations that I had no idea about, because I didn't know shit about sexuality. That was Cornell being naive. Cornell now, Cornell knows what the fuck is up, and you can't pull no wool over my eye. The glue, as far as the glue with the family, I'm trying to keep everybody together.
So you don't feel like everybody has their certain feelings about that person?
But that's what I'm saying. Like I just said, like I respect where everybody is at. Like I'm not gonna force them to talk.
I got that off the episode. You were so like,
yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all speak.
And people said I was too calm, and I was like, what is it? If I was me, perfect. Twin, and Nye, and we both beating our chest,
perfect.
What are we gonna get out of this situation? No. We're not gonna get anything out of it.
I got a different personality out of all of y'all. And it was, honestly, it was you. She didn't tap into you more of how you felt about the situation.
Because they cut out so much of my storyline, which I did not like. They made it seem like I kind of almost didn't have a voice.
Yeah, no.
And everybody knows Cornell. That we said he was like, oh, twins outspoken. I was like,
No. It was how do you feel? It was that question at the end of the episode. It was like, well, how does he feel?
Yeah, and we didn't.
Because you were
touch
so
on
much how you said the
So
glue.
what I was saying with the part 2 earlier, part 2 there was a scene where he got up off a chair and moved closer to me. And it was like, oh, he wasn't there. So what? No, that's not what it was. I just got done bearing my soul, saying that I was 8 and 9 years old when I was molested by my aunt's fiance, and you weren't there to protect me, Daddy. You weren't there to fucking look out for me. Me crying in front of all the fucking cameras. They edit that whole shit out. And then he comes over, I didn't know. Motherfucker, you would just keep cheering with him a few years ago.
They should have shown.
That's what I'm saying. So they cut all that shit out.
Face,
exactly. Because I'm trying to keep it together.
Yeah. No.
I'm used to being in front of cameras. That's why I'm like
perfect. That's what I meant. Like
I'm trying to keep together and be strong for my brothers.
in.
But this shit is a lot because also on top of that, I'm the only one that's been trying to keep it cool with you and keep it. But if I find out that you're actually not my dad, you brought me on national television and embarrassed the fuck out of me, that's when you would have saw a different Cornell.
So was that the first time you heard his story about
The first
him?
time I see this shit is when it was aired in front of everybody on national television, the trailer that I played earlier. I don't think they are my kids. When I saw the intensity in his eyes, that's when this motherfucker really don't think I'm his.
I meant like how you
and I'm
told
having
your
dinners
story
with the
about
nigga? Really?
Yeah.
You know I don't fake the funk.
Not at all.
I don't fake the funk. So what it's like when I come to find out as of recently, and this was recent, and I'm gonna share this shit. Everybody came to visit me for my 30th in August. This was a few weeks ago, about a month and a half ago. So when people are out here, I actually pressed my dad on it. So you kept saying they didn't think that we were yours. So who are these people that you didn't think that we were yours? I want to know.
Where did this come from?
They're all his side of the family, all his sisters.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like that.
Not like that, but of course.
One of them that offended me was his mother, my grandmother, who I'm not super close with because I only have one grandmother. She passed away. That was my nana. But with my grandmother on his side, I have tried to build a connection with. I'm the only one out of all the kids that once again reaches out. And I called and I'm trying to build a connection, but she was one of the main people that denied us.
Wow.
So it's like you keep forcing me to have relationships with family that have been denying us since I was born.
That's
Are you serious?
Old thing that it don't matter what it is, they're stuck in their ways. So whatever they believe,
and I'm gonna be stuck in my ways.
They're gonna believe it.
So take it to a little bit of a lighter note. We're gonna play we're gonna play the shot game.
Yes.
So the
okay, after we're done though, what is the status on you and your father? Or the whole dynamic? What is the status on it?
Current dynamic.
Yeah, the current dynamic.
So I just spoke to my dad earlier today.
Okay.
We just handled a little business. We took care of that. When it comes to me and my dad, out of his 5 children, I was the only one that still kept the bridge of communication and still try to encourage my brothers to do the same. I love my dad. I am so proud of him. He's over 2.5 years sober now.
He looked good
so
on
I'm
TV.
gonna clap that up because this is the best I've ever seen him.
No,
He was not looking like that a few years prior.
He looked good.
He was a lot bigger and he was like not present. And I said that in part 1. I said for what I need him to be present. He wasn't present years ago. We had conversations and he fade out and then start talking about, so how about them sports? And I'm like, listen, how you have conversations with twin is not how you have conversations with me. Okay, yes, I like
a manly conversation. Not even that. How they feel like it's a manly conversation.
It's very generic. Let's just all go to the basis of sports. Like first of all, if we're not talking about the Patriots, I'm not involved. Okay, if we're not talking about the Celtics, I'm not involved. The Red Sox, I'm not involved. Okay, so other than that, that's what it is with me in sports. I'm a hometown motherfucker. But other than that, like you just gonna go to the sports because it's a generic manly conversation.
It's like an icebreaker.
It's very surface.
It's very surface. So out of that, me and him were super cool. With my brothers, they do have their own communication with him. I don't know to what levels. I can't put a number on it, but based off what they told me, is that it's still not where I would like it to be. Okay. And but like one thing that I got from Fix My Life was that the healing process is very continuous and never stops.
It never stops.
So this shot game, what's up?
Yes, Dennis. Yes. So we have a shot game. So this shot game, we took some questions.
Wait, do I need to bring alcohol in?
We need to bring the alcohol in. Thank you. Yes, we need to bring alcohol in. So you have Facebook, right?
Yes, I'm on Facebook.
You have Instagram?
Yes.
You have Twitter?
Not really. I do use it.
So this is the time to
I
plug
use it
this.
for other things. Tumblr's gone.
Yeah. So let's plug your Instagram. What is your Instagram?
Yes, you can look at my IG, which is my name, Cornell C. Sewell. So that's Corne.
Spell that, baby.
LCSEWELL.
Well, see Sewell. And then what is your Facebook?
And my Facebook is my same name, Cornell C. Sewell. Yeah.
So we took a look at a couple of your captions for your posts
Oh God.
on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And we have this game called the Shot Game.
The Shot
So
Game.
I'm going to read you back a caption.
Uh-huh.
You have to determine if it was an Instagram post or a Facebook post.
Okay. Oh, that's easy.
And if you don't determine if you don't say the right one, you have to take a shot.
Oh, how much time do I get?
You only have a couple of seconds.
Okay, you said it was easy. You said it
2
was
seconds.
easy.
But damn, like, okay, I got it.
2 seconds, because he ain't need
2 seconds ain't nothing. I need a good 5, 6.
I just wanted to let y'all know I took a shot.
They just trying to get me drunk, y'all.
She's prepared for him to fail. So the first one is, so I'm thinking about doing something random really, really soon.
Facebook.
That's accurate.
It was this. I got my nose pierced.
Oh, really?
You should have put not the actual date, but how long ago you feel like you posted it. Like
Nah.
even like
The caption
year.
alone.
No, Javante. No,
I know what I write. I'm a writer.
I was talking about Javante the game. Like
So-
it would have been more like.
And
Okay,
so,
you're right.
So the next one is Vision Life Clearer.
Oh, Instagram.
That's Instagram?
Instagram.
That
Where
sound
did
like
that come from? Where did it come
It was
from?
on my 29th birthday last year. Vision Life Clear.
Is he
You
right?
got the picture.
Javante,
Yes.
that sounds
really
like
good
that
that you
sounds like
remember.
a
That's
photo
awesome.
picture.
I thought
okay,
about all
can
my
I-
shit before I posted.
Well, let me say this. So as we have played this game before, and we're going to continue playing this game, we going based off of what people are posting.
Yeah.
So if it's limited posting,
I like
then it's
this game.
limited
This is
posting.
fun.
Okay, so next one. When a screenshot of a person captured a moment from one of my precious projects years ago still brings life to me this
IG.
day. That was IG? Mm-hmm. That was IG.
What was that
It
about?
was a screenshot of one of our pictures from Mama's Boy that went viral, and it was a picture of
That was a
Najee was
long
standing behind me.
post
It was
for
a long
IG.
time. It was a long post because that picture was when you go on Jack and you see people like it was relationship goals before hashtag relationship goals, and that's why I appreciate of why Mama's Boy resonated with people. It was on a love factor. So the picture was me at the end of a slide and Najee behind me, and the one who played my son on the show was actually my twin son, my godson. He played my son season 2. He played baby Jordan. He was sliding down the slide, and I was ready to catch him, and Najee was like right there on my shoulder. So that picture, boom, went viral, and everybody was posting this like, oh my God, I want this. This is relationship goals. Yeah, somebody posted this years later, and it was like, oh my God, I want this one day. And I was like, this was recent, and it was one of my a
He
follower
is
of mine.
3 for 3 at this point.
I'm gonna be 4 for 4. What's up?
Damn, my professor is fine. Damn.
Facebook. I didn't even get a picture of him. He was fine. He was I'm also in school as well. I go to El Camino in Torrance. I'm a film student, by the way. Still currently, I'm chasing my degree, and I love my first film professor. He was so very helpful in helping me select my classes and just being there for me. I don't know what his situation is, but Professor V, I didn't see no wedding ring. He was fine as fuck, and my first day. I stayed out the first day of class and said, hey, by the way, my name is Cornell. I don't know. You know, I said the Frank, by the way. You go through on Thursday. You like coffee. You know what I'm saying? With the cream in it. You know what I'm saying? But, my professor, he was bomb. He was bomb.
Oh my God.
You don't know my name, but I'm about to tell you, baby.
Had to put you on the game.
We have a viewer
So that
question.
means I don't take a shot.
Yes. Oh, wait, right. You're right. Pause. So,
Has that happened before? Yet?
It was the first time.
Ooh.
The first time.
We should do All Stars.
Yeah,
we're
gonna bring it back because I can't think about right now if anybody else has gotten all of them right. But
nope.
At this point, we feel like this is an All Star. So where yes, we go.
I'm the first one,
call
baby.
it a hot seat All Star episode.
Oh, I like that.
And we gonna hit y'all with some burning questions.
That's dope.
So, we have a viewer question.
Dennis, I feel like you should answer this first.
Okay.
Since you haven't told him yet, so I feel like it's a raw answer.
I agree. So the viewer gave us a question.
Dennis, what is your opinion?
The viewer said, "Recently, I found a condom in my partner's travel bag, and we do not use condoms. When I asked him about the condom, he shared that he has been with someone outside of the relationship and wants to open the relationship, but I don't. We have only been together a year. What should I do?" Dennis.
Damn. My thought is,
and wait, let me say this for Dennis' answer. People love Dennis' response.
That's why I said. That's why I told you to let him answer first.
my thought is already their relationship is dead. He finally just got caught, and he's just using the open relationship thing.
Damn.
I agree.
Wow.
It's already over.
Wow.
That's what I said.
And if you go with the open relationship thing, you dumb as fuck because you just playing into what he wants you to do.
Right.
Damn.
If you don't want it, yeah.
And as I said earlier, what is the validity of the relationship prior to that moment? Like
it's already been over for him. He just opened it to you too.
Right.
Damn.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't need no more more advice. Honestly, I think that would sum it up.
That sums it up for the most part. All I would share is that I definitely agree with Dennis. I feel like
that's rare.
Clearly, that's rare.
That's it. What he about to do is politically correct.
Politically correct. Well,
let's go.
So what I would say is that yes. I agree with Dennis to where.
You better not say nothing about no conversation.
Okay, you guys can meet up at Chili's, have a conversation about where you guys want to go with this.
Everything is a conversation with your
Well, there's a reason why this show is called Cocktails and Conversation.
Everything don't need a conversation.
So I would agree that. The guy, because whoever it was a female, she was okay with opening as being to say that she's a female. There's a female that submitted this question, and yes, your partner did not. Your partner did not have a conversation with you prior to him engaging into a sexual act with someone else outside of the relationship. So therefore, you don't know how long this has been going on. You don't know if this has been going on the whole length of your relationship, or if it just started, if it was a one-time thing or not. I also would say if you feel like you don't want to do this, and this is you're only a year in. A year is a long time, but it's not enough time to try to, in my opinion, to try to establish a relationship based off something that someone else wants and you don't want. So I would say go with your heart, go with your gut, and do what's best for you. If you don't want to do this, don't do anything that you don't want to do. And that's all I have to say on it.
All you need to say now is pray on it. That's what Shit.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Cornell. Thank you so much for joining us. And
pause. Fuck all that conversation. If you ain't with it, you ain't with it. You don't need no conversation because it's a year in. Okay. So fuck all that.
But we do need another conversation with Cornell to get in his personal business.
Yes, we are.
All right, next episode.
Yes. So thank you guys.
Javante next episode. Y'all ain't gonna hear me no more. Javante is forcing me to be on this shit. But I'm done.
Okay. And that is the wrap of season 1. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you guys so much for listening to this podcast. This has been a trial and error podcast.
Yes, I'll be back on season 2 to talk about what's coming.
I'm back.
I got some things coming next, so we'll talk about it.
And I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you, Javante.
And thank you. Can I get to it? Damn, Gina. Damn. I appreciate appreciate you, Paradise, my sister. I appreciate you, my co-host, Dennis, that has been done more than I expect him to do. But you got the podcast bug, and he's renewed for a new season already. And thank you. Thank you so much for believing in my vision. He has helped me with so much of the content and orchestrating all of this shit and put it together. Thank you for my sister.
And let me say that I am very proud of you. I'm glad that and I'm gonna support you on your new business venture. I'm with you. I'm very proud of you.
Thank y'all. So thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all tune in to season 2. That will be coming very, very soon. We ain't gonna take that long of a break while we got y'all attention. All right, bye y'all. Love y'all, mean it.